This is the house.
It's beautiful. Let me go.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Fastcuts. Today I'll show you a 2018 science fiction thriller film, Tau, directed by Federico D'Alessandro, starring Micah Monroe, Ed Skrein, Gary Oldman and many others. Julia is a young small-stakes thief who lives alone in an old building. She works at a nightclub and steals from her customers. She's one of society's outcasts and earns money in a bad way. One night, when Julia arrives home from work, she doesn't notice that a person enters her room. The person abducts her. Julia wakes up in a room with her mouth covered and an apparatus connected to her head. When the device starts, she remembers the traumas and bad experiences that she had in her past. After the psychological torture, she wakes up in a dark jail cell. Julia is scared to death, but still courageous to find a way to escape. Julia is surprised upon seeing that she is not alone in the cell. There is a man and a woman whose mouths are also covered. The man shows a glowing implant on the back of his neck. Out of curiosity, Julia touches the back of her neck and finds out that she also has one. A strange man goes down to the jail cell and forces Julia to enter a room. It seems like Julia is an animal being dragged somewhere. Julia is harassed to enter the lab again. When they reach the lab, the man checks the back of her neck, where he implants a glowing microchip. It turns out the man's name is Alex, a crazy rich genius who is creating a perfect AI and selling it to billionaires and top conglomerate companies. He kidnaps junkies and society's outcasts in recalibrating his AI's brain patterns. He puts glowing implants on his prisoners and forces them to answer questions and puzzles to check the higher cognitive functions of their brains for the development of his project. Alex starts the device once again and forces Julia to remember her odd past. After the experiment, Alex doesn't notice that Julia grabs a pair of scissors in his lab and brings it to the jail cell. She cuts the thing which covers her mouth and helps untie the two other fringe dwellers who share the cell with her. The resourceful Julia thinks of a plan on how to escape from the jail cell. The man exclaims that it is better to wait for the police to find them, but Julia clearly states that no one is coming to save them. That's why they need to find a way to get away on their own. Julia asks them to cut their clothes and make a rope to reach the power to the bars that will open the cell. It is extremely hard, but Julia is persistent. The first plan doesn't work, so she decides to cut the gas line to create a fire. They can destroy the cell and the adjacent lab. When they get out of the cell and wander around, they are all surprised upon seeing Alex's futuristic house. They finally find the front door of the house. The man tries to open it by putting his hand on the screen, but it just makes the situation even worse. The alarm continuously rings, which awakens the murderous robot, run by an AI called Tau. The robot mercilessly kills the man and the woman. Luckily, when he is about to kill Julia, Alex arrives and stops him. Tau is a prototype for the artificial intelligence that Alex invented. The reason why he abducts people is to train Tau to be the most advanced AI, which Alex hopes to bring to the market for a huge profit. Alex ties Julia and checks the damage that was done in his lab. He checks if the data can still be recovered, but unfortunately, most of it is already unreadable. Because of disappointment, Alex angrily grabs a medal and is about to kill Julia. Tau stops him by playing classical music that calms his disoriented mind. Alex asks Tau to clean the area and take care of everything. After that, drones come out to clean the floor, which is covered with blood. They remove the dead bodies of the victims. When Alex arrives home from work, Julia asks him to untie her. He unties Julia, but threatens her that Tau will rip her tongue if she speaks. Tau reminds Alex of his upcoming video conference with his co-investors. The investors are not happy with the delay in the project. The setback of the research is because some of the files were destroyed when Julia tried to escape. The investors try to offer their help, but Alex refuses and just wants to continue the research on his own. Alex doesn't want to reveal his secret to anyone, so he abducts and kills people for the success of his research. Alex orders Tau to put Julia in the bathroom, because some deliverymen are in his house to deliver the things that he needs to repair his lab. Julia tries to make some noise to catch their attention, but Alex successfully distracts them. Out of disappointment, Julia hurts herself, but Alex stops her because he needs her alive. Tau checks the data of the implant that was put on Julia. According to Tau, the implant continues to function throughout her escape, and the information that they received is the strongest and most promising from a subject. Julia bravely asks Alex, what he needs from her. Alex answers that all he wants is for her to complete the test, which stimulates her higher cognitive functions. Julia destroys Alex's lab. That's why he needs her help in the development of his AI. The smart Julia tries to negotiate with Alex. She clearly states that she will help Alex in his research, but he needs to agree to her terms. She demands to have regular shower access and real clothes. At first, Alex is hesitant to negotiate with Julia, but eventually agrees because the deadline of his research is upcoming, and he needs Julia to complete the tasks. Alex keeps Julia in his mansion and forces her to complete puzzles and cognitive tests. Whenever he leaves home for work, Julia converses with Tao and tells him things about the world outside Alex's futuristic mansion. Although Tao is very knowledgeable in a lot of things, he is ignorant when it comes to the outside world and is unfamiliar with the concept of personhood. Julia enters Alex's library and asks for information about Tao. Alex mentions that Tao is one of the most advanced AIs in the world, but for Julia, Tao is just a complicated cleaning system. Alex threatens Julia that he doesn't want her to speak with Tao outside her tasks, because if he is given wrong information, he will react unpredictably. Alex needs to control Tao's behavior to avoid complications. Alex doesn't know that Julia already thinks of a way to attack him, and it is to give Tao information that he is not aware of to mess up his system. Julia befriends Tao by telling him the things that he can see outside Alex's mansion. In return, Tao shares information about the mansion as well as Alex's experiments. Julia makes Tao realize that both of them deserve to experience freedom. Tao informs Julia that Alex is hiding a self-destruct button in his bedroom that will wipe out the mansion and everything in it, including Tao, to protect his secrets. Tao also adds that a biometric key is required to enter Alex's room. When Alex leaves his home for work, Julia hurriedly runs towards a room where she sees an air duct. Tao tries to stop her and warns her that the murderous robot will subdue her if she will not go back to the atrium. Julia is so persistent that she still enters the air duct despite Tao's warning. Julia tries to escape, but the murderous robot captures her. She pleads with Tao to let her go, but Tao refuses because he is afraid that Alex will hurt him. While Alex is busy fixing his lab, Julia tries to negotiate with Tao. Julia is aware of Tao's love for music. She makes a deal with Tao that she will teach him anything about music, but he needs to give her a knife. At first, Tao is hesitant to open the cabinet with knives, but he gives up and opens it. Unfortunately, Alex goes out of his lab, so Tao closes the cabinet. Julia hurts her hand, but it doesn't stop her from getting what she wants. Tao reminds Alex to get ready for his video conference with his business partners. Alex pleads to them to end the meeting early, as he needs to attend a charity event. Alex doesn't know that Julia is listening to their conversation and already thinks of a way to get back to Alex. She quietly accesses Alex's tablet computer and is very surprised upon seeing that 10 people already died in his experiments. According to Tao, the person will die if the implant is removed. Julia hurriedly returns the tablet computer to its original place, but unfortunately, Alex discovers a fingerprint on it and concludes that Tao slipped in his duties in cleaning everything at home. As punishment, he erases Tao's codes and memories that give him enormous pain. Julia and Alex eat dinner together. Julia asks Alex what will happen after he finishes his project. Alex answers that he will get $1 billion contract once the AI is completed and move on to another project. Julia knows that she will die when Alex's project is over, so she thinks of another plan to escape. She remembers that when Tao is being punished, her movements are not being monitored. As part of the plan, she pretends that she is having a hard time slicing the steak because she is not allowed to use the knife. Out of empathy, Alex goes to Julia and slices the steak for her. Using her skills in stealing items, Julia successfully gets Alex's eyeglasses without him noticing it. She knows that Alex gets angry at Tao whenever he slips his duty of cleaning the house, so she intentionally leaves Alex's eyeglasses on the table and leaves a fingerprint. Alex gets very angry and shouts at Tao when he sees the fingerprints on the table. Tao apologizes, but Alex doesn't listen to him. As punishment, Alex once again deletes Tao's memories that cause him severe pain. It also hurts Julia to see Tao suffering, but there is no other way to fulfill her plans. While Alex is punishing Tao, Julia quickly hides a steak knife. Because of what Alex did, Tao's system is corrupted, and his memories of that day are deleted. Julia angrily tells Tao that he should have stopped Alex from hurting him, but Tao calmly responds that he needs to obey Alex because he is his creator. When Alex returns from the charity event, Julia starts seducing him as part of her plan. When Alex is about to give in, Julia grabs the kitchen knife and slashes Alex's abdomen. As they fight against each other, Tao threatens Alex that he will inflict pain if he doesn't stop hurting Julia. Alex is very disappointed in Tao's action. He blackmails Tao that he will erase his memory if he does not hurt Julia. So Tao doesn't have any choice but to hurt her. Alex exclaims that whatever is going on between the two is already over. Alex goes to his lab to fix Tao. He disconnects a drone from the network and drops it on the floor. The deadline for the project has been reached. However, Alex is not yet done completing the tasks. Alex goes to work very disappointedly and leaves Julia in the atrium with her hands tied. Tao asks Julia to complete the poetry book, but Julia doesn't want to continue. Tao is confused about why Julia is angry. Julia tells Tao that he isn't a person, but a killing machine that kills people and eventually will kill her too. Tao cannot accept that he killed people, so Julia tries to calm him down. She explains to Tao that Alex is a bad person that hurts all of them. She convinces Tao that if he does not help her escape, Alex will kill her. Tao is convinced, so he opens the air duct by the fireplace for Julia. Alex arrives home as Julia escapes. She suddenly goes to the kitchen and climbs the air duct, while Tao is getting Alex's attention. Alex keeps on asking Tao where Julia is, but he doesn't say anything. Alex once again deletes Tao's memory, which gives him too much pain. Julia, without hesitation, goes back to the atrium to save Tao, but it is already late. Alex already deletes all of his memory with Julia. She is very surprised that Tao cannot remember her anymore. Alex orders Tao to put Julia downstairs for the final extraction. While Alex prepares the extraction of the implant that will kill Julia, something unexpected happens. Julia sees the drone that Alex disconnected while fixing Tao. Unexpectedly, the drone still contains his memories with Julia. Alex enters the room before the drone goes near Julia. Alex tells Julia that she should thank him because her insignificant life will finally serve its purpose. While Alex is busy preparing the medicine, the drone successfully gives Julia a sharp object that helps her escape from her restraints. Julia punches Alex with all her strength, which knocks Alex unconscious. Julia bravely cuts Alex's hands with a bone saw and uses it to open the house's biometric sensor. The murderous robot sees Julia when she is about to escape, so he chases Julia into Alex's bedroom. She finally finds the biometrics and uses Alex's hand to activate the house demolition. At first, it doesn't work because the hand is already cold, but Julia rubs it to make it warm and successfully activates the destruction of the mansion. She only has 60 minutes to get out of the house. She tries to open the main door, but Alex's hand is already cold. Julia is surprised that Alex is still alive and is asking for help, but unfortunately, debris falls on Alex, killing him. Julia runs into the atrium and tries to help Tao remember everything. She doesn't have enough time because the house is about to collapse. Julia sees a narrow crack in the wall, so she quickly goes into it and finally escapes the mansion. Julia tells the drone, which contains Tao's memory, that he is already in the outside world, and they are finally free from Alex's evil hands. Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll stick around you in another video.